Yo, what's up, guys? It's your boy T.
And it's your boy D.
And it's your boy Jay.
And this is Unquoted, your number one source for pop culture commentary. Let's go. Okay, guys, so today I'm going to let Jay take it over. Go ahead, Jay.
All right, so we're going to start off with very disappointing news.
That's biased as hell.
That Ice Cube is working with the Trump administration. So he's working with Satan reincarnated. And he likened Trump to the American dream. He said Donald Trump is what Americans love. Donald Trump is what Americans aspire to be: rich, powerful, do what you want to say, do what you want to do, say what you want to say, be how you want to be. The rapper said about Trump's appeal. That's kind of been like the American dream. He looks like a boss to everybody, and Americans love to have a boss.
We'll start off with his first quote, Jay. What about where it began?
Where he said Donald Trump is who Americans aspire to be?
No, remember last week when he was talking about just about him working with the administration?
Yeah, so Donald Trump has said that he was working with the Trump administration, and he said that he was Ice Cube had said that he was working with the Trump administration, and he said that he was working with whoever is in power. So that was his justification for working with the Trump administration, working with whoever's in power, and that he had went to both Democrats and Republicans, and that Democrats said to wait till after the election. And Ice Cube had a plan for a contract with Black America, and he said that the Republicans were willing to work with him.
All right, so what are your thoughts on this, Jay? We know I know you guys can't see Jay, but he's ready to explode. His little pink, little soft ass heart is ready to come out of his chest.
I was in shock when I first heard this. Very disappointed because Ice Cube always rapped about racism and police brutality, all that. He rapped about all of it when he was back in the day when Ice Cube was the shit. He rapped about all of it. So to hear him team up with the dark side is very disappointing and just very damning. And I just feel like you've teamed up with Satan reincarnated, and Trump has done like more terrible things than anybody could ever imagine. And it's just very disappointing to see anyone, especially Ice Cube, team up and work with him. I understand he says he's working with whoever's in power, but if the most evil person in the world is in power, in your work, you agree to work with him, what does that say about you as a person? I think that says a terrible thing about you as a person, and you should be getting ridiculed, and all the criticism you're getting is very much deserved and is very disappointing.
Why is he the most evil person in the world, Jay?
After all the evil shit that Donald Trump has done, I consider him the most evil person in the world. A lot of people have lost lives. A lot of people have suffered, and just due to Donald Trump. Single-handedly has caused a lot of pain and suffering to a lot of people in the world and in this country, mainly in this country.
Wait, how did he cause lives to be lost?
He had children separated from the border from their parents, put in cages. That's one. He goes around preaching everyone to not wear a mask, and a mask is one thing that would help die down the cases. So he's going around telling governors to not wear a mask. So governors that support him don't wear a mask. And then you have people in those states that don't wear a mask. And that's how you have red hot states and high coronavirus cases, and then a lot of deaths. So he's essentially causing a lot of deaths. And not to mention the fact that he's stirring up a civil war right now, and told white supremacists to stand by during the presidential election on national television. He said, "Stand back, but stand by." Those were his exact words on the first presidential debate.
And so you know for a fact that he was sending that to them?
Yes, he was sending that to his base of racists and all these Karens that are popping about the woodworks that support him. So he was saying that to his base and preaching
to Republicans.
He's told white supremacists to stand by. He was referring to the Proud Boys, which is a white supremacist organization.
So what if he was telling you to stand by? You wouldn't stand by?
Hell no, I'm not standing by anything that Satan is gonna request me to stand by to. Fuck Donald Trump. Just like YG said it best. Fuck Donald Trump.
So how do you feel about this, D?
Honestly, I'm low-key kind of proud of Ice Cube, because he made the smart decision, because Donald Trump might win. So instead of just saying fuck Donald Trump and hating on him and nothing changing, why don't you try to work with the person in power to like better the whole Black community? Because nothing has changed for the past 60 or 70 years that we've like voted for, the Democrats. So why don't we just try like working with Trump, because he's in power, so he has the like power to like make them the like most change. So that only makes sense instead of just standing back and complaining. And like Cube is willing to work with Biden too, but Biden kind of just brushed him off because and like all they really did was just talk. So it's not set in stone that Cube is gonna go with like Trump. All he did was like just talk and set his plan and was like, hey, can you do this? Because that will really help all of the like Black community out. And I see nothing wrong with that. And I'm really proud of him for actually taking that step.
Yeah,
I have two quick questions for you.
Hold on.
Wait.
All right. So what I was about to say was that I agree with D, and the reason why I agree with D is because, like, yeah, Trump right now, he's the guy who's in power, right? So how do you think people got stuff done back in the day when they had a king? Because no one liked the king. No one went and talked to the fucking king. No, they went and they had to talk to the king. They had to work terms out in everyone's favor, and that's how they got stuff done. I mean, I don't understand why people are criticizing for Ice Cube because, like, okay, hypothetically speaking, let's say Donald Trump wins, right? Right, Jay? Let's say that Donald Trump wins right now. So if we want something done, how are we going to go about it? He's the president. You're going to have to go through him at some point in time. So why not just say, hey, let me get ahead of the curve. Let me see what we can do. I don't see what the problem is. Worst case scenario, he does nothing. What do you lose from going to him and saying like, hey, let's work something out? I don't understand what the problem is. And like, if Biden and Harris cared that much, I mean, they would do it before the election. And I don't have any side because I'm an independent and I don't even get into politics. But my thing is you can't criticize someone who Ice Cube's openly saying that he really wants to work with either one as long as he gets the same thing done. What's the problem with it? Like I legitimately don't see why people are bothered by it. Like even if you don't like someone, like you still have to work with someone to get something done. Do you realize presidents still had to work with North Korea to get shit done so they wouldn't blow up half the world? Like I don't see any logic in it. But go ahead, Jay.
Who do y'all view as the most evil person on the planet?
It's not
Satan.
really relevant. Well, yeah, that's it. Well, Hitler could have been the most evil, but
I'm talking about in this generation right now.
I don't know.
I don't know. I really don't know.
The
What
devil.
if, okay, let's say the devil reincarnated in human form and someone said, okay, I'm going to go work with and someone said, I'm going to go work with the devil because he's in power. Does that make sense to y'all?
He's not. My thing is, okay, so let's hypothetically say that Trump wins, right?
Mm-hmm.
Let's say you're right, Jay. Let's say like he wins. So what happens then? And we need to get something done because this George Floyd shit is going to keep happening. So how do you expect for us to get things done if we can't work with the person who's in power?
We can't go to Biden. We can't go to Ms. Harris because they aren't in charge to make big changes like that. So
yeah. So how's we gonna work?
There's a million other things you can do other than that to create change. You don't have to work with whoever is in power just because they're in power. You can still find plenty of other ways to create change and do things. There's still a bunch of other things you can do for the Black community instead of working with someone who doesn't give a fuck about the Black community and who is a pure racist and hates Black people. So why would you work with someone? Why would a Black person team up to work with someone who's a racist against Black people?
I think the whole thing is that people have to take their emotions out of this equation and just think logically. And I think that's where the whole issue's coming up here. They just hate Trump so much that even breathing the same air as him is just, even during these like times, breathing the same air as him is just seen as blasphemy. And I think we have to get past that. Like he is in charge. He can make the like most change happen. So why don't you just talk to him and see if that change can happen? Because it's like so basically you are trying to like, say like, oh, we should just stay in poverty, stay being mistreated. It like and like, not talk to the person in charge to see if he can like fix things. And Biden and like Harris probably brushed Cube off because, oh, blacks like vote for them anyway. So it's like, I don't really like have to bother trying to like, help you out. Y'all gonna vote for me regardless. And that's probably why they even brushed him off too. So it's like, you got to just think logical and just like get your emotions out of this whole equation.
Exactly.
I just think it's absolutely ridiculous to work with someone who told people to inject themselves with disinfectant in their skin.
If you actually did that, that's on you. Like, honestly.
But do you not? But what about the president of the United States telling people to inject themselves with disinfectant to cure coronavirus? Y'all don't think that's crazy for him to say?
Yeah, but the thing is, regardless of whether or not you like him or not, he's still in power. Like, honestly, I don't know what you really want other people to do. If someone is in power, they're the person who controls a whole lot of stuff to do. That's who you're gonna have to go through. There, even though there's other sources, that other source hasn't been working for us at all. For black people,
there's still other things you can try.
Like what?
There's plenty of other things you can try.
Bruh, it hasn't worked and hasn't been happening.
He's right doing the same thing for like 40, 50, 60 years. Nothing's changed. And funny thing is, like, Trump even said this. He was like, you guys have nothing to lose. Like, nothing's changed. And then I was like, damn, it was like, kind of has a point there. I'm like, I'm not even gonna lie. Like, that was a good one.
Yeah, that was disrespectful, but you got a point.
I was like, shit.
So, do y'all think famous people in Russia and in North Korea should team up and work with Putin and Kim Jong-un just because they're in power?
If it helps them get what they need,
change.
If it helps them get what they need and it helps them live better lives, then absolutely.
Helps the people.
But if it's obvious that Putin and Kim Jong-un aren't going to help them, and they know that they're lying to their faces by saying they're going to help them, then why would you even bother with that?
What do they have to lose? They have nothing to lose. If you're already in
your respect, you have your respect to lose.
Then I'd rather lose my respect and give the black people, the whole black community, $500 billion. Like, yeah, take my respect. I don't give a shit. Like, I just help the people out. Okay, take it.
That's a pride issue, bro. That's not like a people issue.
I don't need it.
Yeah, I honestly, that's why I respect him, because people are bashing him, but you're gonna feel really dumb if he ends up helping everybody else out, and you're gonna look at there like, damn, I was dumb as hell. Like,
exactly.
That's why I say, if you don't like Trump, that's fine. You don't have to like Trump. If you don't like Biden, that's fine. You don't like Biden. But you have to realize if one of these guys get in power, if Biden or Harris gets in power, you realize we have to do the same thing either way. So at some point in time, bro, you have to let that pride out and get what you need to get done. It is what it is,
Yeah, Ice Cube's just making the best of the cards that he's been dealt with to like help us all come out on top. And you guys should be championing him for even like making that attempt, because everybody else is just complaining and not doing shit.
Right. Honestly, not only that, but I mean, all the presidents have done something bad. Joe Biden had like the 94, 98 crime bill.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, politicians, they're all dirty. They all do dirt. And if you want to get anything done, read any book. Who's going to say? Got to go to the person who's got the power, man. They control everything.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I could ever willingly say I'm going to work with someone who's had kids separated away from their parents and put in cages, and now they can't even find where their parents are at.
Wait, who started that whole separating?
The Trump administration.
Was that them?
Yes.
No, actually,
he had kids separated away from their parents and put in cages. The Trump administration. So if you think it's okay for a famous celebrity to just say, "Hey, I'm gonna go work with someone who had kids put in cages and separated away from their parents, and who's building a wall to keep people out," and the list of racist shit that this man has done is ridiculously long, and there's a reason why everyone is getting canceled. Whoever says they support that man, because he's pure evil, and anyone who's willing to work with someone who's pure evil, that makes you evil too.
I don't think that at all. How do you think they did stuff back in the olden days? Oh, let's say, to go off your point, you realize back in the day, Martin Luther King, guess who he had to work with? Racist people who did the same shit, who spat in his face, who did all this other dumb shit to him, and who hosed him down. He had to work with them in order to get his point across. Imagine if you would have never done that. Then where would he be? And you can't tell me those people back in the day weren't evil, sitting there like killing black people innocently in the streets, over looking at you. Just think about Emmett Till, what happened to him. You think those people weren't evil who do stuff like that? They're extremely evil. But the thing about it is, guess what? He still had to do what he had to do in order to get his point across, in order to make a change. That's the only way he makes change.
We don't know that for a fact if Martin Luther King had to work with evil people to get things done.
Do you think those people back in the day were not evil?
There's still good. There was good people that he had worked with.
Spat in his face, threw bricks, and this is, bro. You not realize how people were racist back in the day?
He didn't work with people who were treating him like shit. Like
yes, he did. Did you?
He marched peacefully.
Have you
Martin Luther King was all about peace. He just didn't engage in any kind of violence. So
you think Martin Luther King never ran to anybody who did anything evil towards black people, never did anything negative or derogatory? So he worked with all happy people and it was all easy, right?
That's not the case.
And change just magically happened.
And change just magically happened, right?
Nah, because he had to build a following and then use that following to get him into a position to talk to the racist white people in power to make change.
And do you think, you remember, I don't know, talk to your grandparents back in the day. How did they view Martin Luther King at the time? They didn't view him as a hero. They viewed him as a threat and a terrorist.
Mm-hmm.
Look at how people view Malcolm X now. Malcolm X in the media is still people think Malcolm X is a terrorist. They didn't even teach Malcolm X when I was in school. You know, it sucks. You don't like working with people you don't have to work with, but you have to get the job done. It's just like if you go to work, I'm pretty sure you guys have worked with some dickheads before, or you've had a shitty manager before. I've had a shitty manager before, but you know, you want a good result, you gotta do what you gotta do.
Yeah. See, like Cube is just focused on that end result, and it's like I work with whoever just to get my people in like good positions, and then go ahead.
Exactly. Do you have any closing thoughts, Jay?
I have to say, I just completely disagree with everything y'all both just said, and I have my point, and I think I would never work with Satan reincarnated in human form, no matter what. I want to go to heaven. I'm a very Christian human being. I love God, and I believe there's good people in the world, and I believe in good and the good in people. And I think you shouldn't ever work with Satan reincarnated in human form. Y'all go ahead.
That's definitely cap. But my closing thought is like, I mean, in life, you're gonna have to work with people you don't like having to work with. That's just, it is what it is. And you have to learn how to separate your emotions from getting the task at hand done. So I think that's an important thing. People have to realize, like, hey, at the end of the day, you may not like Trump, you may like Trump. If he's a person in charge, the person with the power, gotta go through him. It is what it is.
My closing thought is like, don't let your emotions like hold you back from like taking steps to make better choices for yourself and other people.
All right, guys. So this has been Unquoted. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.